Welcome into another edition of Sports Tonight. Bailey Burmaster alongside Lee Smith. We have some good topics to get to today. Rarely, it's football season, so we're not technically
It
always
is.
talking basketball, but some big news today. We have the NBA schedule released, and let's discuss a little bit of these games, especially for the Hawks, of things that stick out. First of all, they kick off the season on October 25th against Charlotte, so they are on the road. And then 2 nights later, they will open up at home against the New York Knicks, who obviously went on into the
Hey.
playoffs. Have any feelings about that first home game being against the Knicks? I'm excited. I think it will be a good
That's going to be
game.
a huge atmosphere. You know,
Yeah.
Trey a couple of years ago in the Eastern, or not in the Eastern Conference Finals, in the oh gosh, what was it?
Play-in
The
tournament?
no,
Or
it was the first round of the
first
Eastern
round?
Conference. Yeah, going up there, he got spat on. Actually, if
That's
anyone
right.
remembers that, hostile crowd, they were booing him,
That's
throwing
right.
stuff. So yeah, that should be a pretty awesome first little treat for the Atlanta fans.
Another game that's worth noting is on November 4th. They will go to Mexico City for the Mexico City NBA game this
That's
year, and
cool.
they will face the Orlando Magic. It's clear, and you see this a lot in the NFL, where they try and have games in Germany and London to appeal to a more international fan
Yeah.
base. You know, you're an international fan, so it's interesting to see that the NBA is adapting that a little bit, and this one will be in Mexico City.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, anytime you get to go to another country to play, obviously get new experiences, and you get to take on a Magic team that's been kind of underachieving. But hey, who cares? You're in Mexico City.
If you could play, if you were on one of these teams, what country would you want to go to?
Ooh, any country?
Any country.
Oh man, I'd have to go somewhere with a beach. I just feel like basketball and beaches go together so well.
For some reason, I would have to say Spain or like Croatia, because I've heard great things about Croatia
Okay.
that I think it's underrated. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. And then obviously, so that game in Mexico City is on November 4th.
Yep.
On November 14th, that's when that in-season tournament, it's a new thing they're doing, will begin. So everyone's divided up into groups. If I'm not mistaken, the Hawks are in Group A with other teams like the Pistons and the Cavs and the 76ers. So they'll do that, and that goes on for quite some time as they build into this in-season tournament. I'm eager to see what this looks like and what it, if it's as
Yeah.
attractive as the NBA is trying to make it look.
Does it really make a difference? Is it really important, or is it just
Right.
another thing so they can have more marketing and possibly get more dollars and try to increase
Yeah.
the exposure of the game? But ultimately, I don't think a whole lot of people really care that it's a in-season tournament.
I don't think anyone's really going to know the difference.
No,
It's just going to seem, I mean, the
no.
season's so long, it's like just another couple of games. And then they will finish the season with 4 out of the last 6 on the road, which can be
Okay.
interesting depending on what the playoff picture's looking like.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Hawks trying to make it back into the playoffs, but we'll see how this all pans out. It's a rather young team with some new faces.
Yep, and I'm just waiting to see who's going to make it on the roster.
We shall see. All right, so on our air, Lee, we have the Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic that kicked off yesterday. The first matchup from yesterday was North Atlanta taking on Johns Creek, and then the game following that was Parkview Kell. Give me your first day thoughts on what you took away from us being out there all day.
Well, high school football is a little hit or miss with the level of competition you might see from an opponent. Parkview, I'll start first. North Atlanta, completely dominated.
Dominated.
I don't want to be too mean with
Too
the
critical?
assessment,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. It didn't look like Johns Creek was really ready. But you know, North Atlanta's got some players. But I'll tell you what, that second game though. So let's see, we left at what, halftime, and I think at one point, Parkview had 36 unanswered points.
Yeah.
36.
And then
But
Kell's-
Kel came back.
That was crazy. I think they came back and put 17 up, and it came down to the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I think with 9 minutes left, Kell was driving, and you're going, okay, they gonna maybe pull this upset out? It was a rather crazy game, and you know what? That was such a long game. We talked about it last night, but that game kicked off at 8. It was not over until we were officially off of air, and I think that was like 11:34.
That was the longest high school game I've ever personally been to
It was almost 4 hours.
in my entire life. Like, it was crazy. I've never seen that. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of like a Saturday when you're chilling watching SEC on CBS. You know, the game of the week.
And it just keeps going.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it just keeps going. No, I had the exact
But I'll
same
tell you
thought.
what, Parkview's got some players.
They do. They really do. I mean, we were talking before the game on who we need to look at and who we need to get some video of. And I think, I gave you 7 or 8 just off the top.
Yeah.
And there probably could have been more you could argue that we need to get video about.
Kell's quarterback, though, I'll tell you what.
He could sling it.
He did. Number 1, which is the quarterback, and then number 7, I can't remember the receiver's name. But
Kyle Vaca.
Yeah, so they connected on I think it's a little over 50-yard pass for the first score of the game, and at that point I was like, okay, well we got some offense, so that's good to see. But then Parkview, it was just 36 unanswered. It's kind of hard to win after you give up 36 unanswered points.
And those games will continue on throughout the weekend. So Friday football officially back. There's 3 games tomorrow. Tonight's games started off with Archer, North Forsyth, and then tonight's Cherokee Bluff, West Forsyth. So a lot of good games. And then Saturday's games, a lot of hype around that because they will be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And the
Oh, yeah.
kids love playing there because why would you not get amped up? for where the
Professional
Falcons-
stadium, 20 minutes down the road, the Falcons play there, the whole thing, indoors, great facility. Why not?
So we're going to switch gears here a little bit and discuss some Braves baseball. They've been tearing it up lately, especially against the Yankees. Swept them after getting last night's Game 3 win 2-0. Charlie Morton had himself a day, 6 scoreless innings, 10 strikeouts. What did you learn from this series? I'll let you go first, Lee.
Biggest takeaway was the starting pitching and the bullpen. They had 2 shutouts, and I don't remember the last time that's happened for the Braves. It's been a long time. To see the starters actually come out at a point in the season where other pitchers have gone down and you've just needed depth and you've really needed somebody to step up pitching-wise because everybody knows the offense is going to do their part every night. But when you've needed pitchers, they performed. They stepped up. Bryce Elder, he had a shutout along with the bullpen. And let's see, Charlie Morton last night had another shutout along with the bullpen. So I think it was a one-hitter actually last night, which
Was
is
it?
I'm not sure. One of those, either Elder or Morton, I'm pretty
think
sure had
Elder
a one-hitter,
was.
which is crazy considering where Bryce Elder was for the past month and a half since the All-Star break.
I also thought it was very interesting. Morton, is he grew up a Yankees fan, so it's got to be good being out there striking out Aaron Judge.
Oh yeah.
And whatnot. I'll say this, and you went Braves angle, so I'll go Yankees angles. What has happened to the Yankees?
They just fall apart. I mean,
They just disintegrated. There's no offense. You feel like there's no spark with this team, and you could argue that they had that just a short season ago.
somebody, I can't remember the exact stat. I don't want to get this wrong,
Okay.
but somebody said that it was the first time they had been under 500 this far into the season in over like a decade, at least a decade.
That kind of sounds right.
Yeah.
It's what's happening.
I mean, because they're usually in it. I mean,
well, and you have to wonder what's the future for Aaron Boone, because that's an unforgiving
not
fan
looking
base.
good.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, that's where
not
I
a good
am.
time to be a New York fan in general for baseball.
I-
Who's worse, the Mets or the Yankees right now?
That's a great question. Everyone's jumping on the New York Jets bandwagon. They're
Oh,
like, we're ready
well,
for football
yeah.
season.
Well.
We wanted to have some little fun here as college football keeps creeping closer and closer and closer. So we decided to have some fun with our big college football predictions for this upcoming football season. Lee, would you like to go first, or do you want me to go?
You go ahead. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So I wrote a few down, and this is based on articles I've seen from different conferences of what people are saying. Number one, someone had Texas being the team that makes the college football playoff this year,
Okay.
and it nearly made me laugh because every year Texas is this team that
Because it's Oklahoma State's year.
I wasn't saying that,
I'm just playing.
but every year Texas is the team that, they're in a top 10 or they're going to make the college football playoff, and they fall flat every single season. And I just, at what point do we stop giving them that just off their brand name? So that they will not make the playoff. That is one of my predictions. Correct. Texas is never back. Texas is never back.
Hey, they haven't done anything since Colt McCoy got hurt in that championship game in 09 against Alabama.
That's not true. What's his name? Sam Ellinger.
Sam
He
Sam
won
Ellinger,
the
yeah.
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's when he
Well,
said
we're talking
Texas
about
is back.
we're talking about championships, I guess, right?
Okay, fair. Okay, another one I wrote down. Everyone has Michigan really high up in the rankings.
Yep.
I think that the Big Ten is
Overrated.
weak. Yes.
Dun, dun,
yes.
dun, dun, dun.
Yes, I do. And I don't think Michigan will win the Big Ten title this year.
No. Well, I mean, it's them and Ohio State. And I mean,
And I
Penn
think-
State's got a shot too, an outside shot, but still a shot, I guess.
Ohio State is always a powerhouse, and yeah.
Hey, but Michigan ran through them the last couple of years, though.
They have, that's
So
true.
that's if it comes down to one game, I don't know.
I'm saying it's not happening this year. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'll end on I've been a negative Nancy with my prediction, so I will be a positive Patty in this one. Brock Bowers will be a 2-time Mackey Award winner.
Oh yeah.
No questions
sure.
asked. He's just
He didn't win his freshman year. That's right.
so.
I was about to say he should have. He certainly should. Oh, that's right. He didn't. He should. Okay. Brock should have been like the first 3-time winner, like consecutive back-to-back winner of that award. I think it was he was robbed a little bit in his freshman year. Just throwing that out there.
Well,
So yeah, I don't even think that's like a controversial take at all.
No, I just wanted to
Dude was
secure
by
it.
far the best tight end last year. It wasn't even close.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got?
I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it just for the viewers. I think we're going to have a new national champion, and I think it's going to come out of the same conference as the SEC.
Are you saying Alabama?
I think I might be saying LSU.
As I whisper.
I think I might be saying LSU. Yeah.
I don't hate that prediction.
Look, if they can actually get some kind of consistency with that defense, Harold Perkins, the freshman All-American linebacker 2 years ago, got hurt last year. So he wasn't there in the championship game against Georgia, the SEC championship game against Georgia. If you get him back, and there was a defensive tackle who was also a freshman All-American 2 years ago, they both got hurt on that defense. So with a combination of them coming back, and then Jaden Daniels, if he actually gets better, or at least sustains what he was at the last couple of games of last year, I think they got a shot because they've always got athletes. LSU is always going to have a good defense. They're always going to have skill players. If that offensive line can hold up, I mean, look, Brian Kelly,
coach.
a great job last year.
Yeah.
I mean, great job.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
I don't hate that prediction.
And all they have to do is if they can get by Florida State in this opener, and then they can get by Alabama, they got a shot. They got a real shot. Of course, they would have to beat, I would assume, Georgia in the SEC championship.
Yeah, it won't. Georgia won't make it easy, but
No,
never say never. I get what you're saying here.
And they got a shot.
I get what you're saying here. All right, we're gonna wrap things up here with what is on your mind. It is a Thursday. Lee, what is on your mind?
All right, it's Corky Kell, really awesome high school showcase going on. If you get a chance, you should definitely watch it. If you can't go to the games in person, watch it here on Peachtree locally, Peachtree TV. I think we've got pretty much games going from 4:30 to essentially 11:30 last night.
Yep.
But that Saturday matchup, that Saturday slate is always a killer.
It's killer.
Day.
4 games just from top to bottom.
Oh, it's so cool.
What is on my mind? So I don't know if you watch Hard Knocks, Lee.
I haven't recently.
So every week, I just love watching Hard Knocks and talking about it and what I saw. And there's something that I love about Hard Knocks that they show every year, and that is when they do like the rookie talent show. And I was really disappointed because the Jets rookies were terrible. And all the teammates agreed. They were throwing papers at them and booing them, and they were making them redo it because it was so bad. When, I think last season was the Lions, when you saw like Aiden Hutchinson and Malcolm Rodriguez were on there, and they're dancing and singing Billie Jean, and I don't know, things like that make me really happy. And
So you're telling me they don't have talent off the field?
No.
Well, so let's hope they have it on the field.
Yeah. But I enjoy those things. I like to see them embarrass themselves. It always makes
For sure.
for
Oh,
fun
it's great.
viewing. So I was mad when the Jets didn't have it.
Boo,
yeah.
boo, Jets.
So hopefully they show like.
I think Aaron Rodgers said they didn't want to have it. That's what it was.
Maybe that's why.
So they just listened.
Yep, they just listened. All right, we're going to wrap up this edition of Sports Tonight. Lee Smith, Bailey Burmaster, make sure to stream us, listen to our podcast, Atlanta News First Plus. Make sure to join us tomorrow for another edition of Sports Tonight.
See you.